Hey, what's going on, y'all? VNNCC3 here, bringing you some more Lords Mobile gameplay action review and guides. So, this is episode 3 of the Beginner's Guide. I covered talents and buildings. What else is there to cover? Let's go ahead and do the odds and the ends. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So, I already let you guys know that I will be covering the dungeon slash hero chapter, whatever y'all want to call them. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know what these things are called, but that statue right there, I just pressed on. It's right here. It's one of the first buildings you get. You can't upgrade it. Just click on it. Brings you into this screen right here. And yours, if you're first starting, is gonna look like this. Let's keep going. Keep going. Come on, chapter 2, chapter 1. All right. You're going to start all the way right there. This is the one you're going to start off in. And you see these 3 crowns. It's super important, guys, to see those 3 crowns. Because when you go to you have to beat the whole series, the whole chapter, to get to the elite version. Click the elite version, and you go all the way to chapter 1. Sorry about this, guys. Yep, it's going to take some time, I know. Sorry about that. You start off right here. If you guys want to get these heroes, okay, if you want to get the heroes before you complete the chapters, you have to get the cards. I actually have 7 Demon Slayer cards. I plan on getting him before I finish the chapter, so I need to get 3 more of the elite version, guys. Elite version is only version that's going to give you cards. So go right here, I can run it 3 times and chance getting a card or 2, or maybe even all 3, who knows. But that'll be sweet if I do. That's one way to get him, or you guys can run, let me move this a little bit over here. Come on, let's go right here, go to the next chapter. He's not in this chapter, let's go to the next one. Bam, right there, 315. If I do 315 on the elite version, I'll unlock him, but I have to 3 crown it, guys. You have to 3 crown it, because if you 2 crown it, you have to run it over and over and over again. That doesn't mean you're not going to get cards, it just means you can't sweep it. And this is what I mean by sweeping it. See these buttons right here? It says sweep right there. You have to 3 crown it in order to get the sweep function. The same thing applies to when you go to the normal mode. It's important, the reason why you get the 3 crowns on these guys right here is because they have resources, okay? When you're going for hero cards, guys, like these, when you're trying to get the hero cards set up, you want to get the elite version and you have to 3 crown them. But if you're looking for resources to upgrade your heroes, let me show you here. So, for instance, this Child of Light, okay? This Child of Light needs... fuse at level 41. I need 5 of these gauntlets right here. 5 of these gauntlet fragments. I'll go ahead and press on it. Ooh, I can get them by doing 5, 6. If I didn't 3 flame, or my bad, 3 crown, I know 3 flame. If I didn't 3 crown 5, 6, I wouldn't be able to do this. I can run it 6 times because I have 38 stamina. And I would be able to get potentially one of each of these, or only one of them, or none of them, only a skill up. So people always ask, what's the gambling aspect in this game, because IGG made it? Well, this is the gambling aspect, is these resources that you're trying to do these for. Collect, and it tells you right here, resources. Collect 3 shards to fuse, needed to fuse, wicked masked blueprint. Same thing for here, collect 5 of these gloves, 3 of these, so on and so forth, guys. So, if you guys are wondering how you get the armor on these heroes, by the way, when you get the armor on the heroes, then you can upgrade them. But, that's how you get the armor on the heroes. Also, if you do the elite versions, you can get the cards for these. So the soonest one you get is 612 for this lady right here. I've already got the 215 unlocked for this guy, the Sea Squire. And, by the way, the relationship, okay? This right here, okay, and this right here, and this right here all mean something. Okay, this is a magical hero. Almost all of their attacks are going to be magical, if not all of their attacks are magical. Okay, not only that, but it's a caster. Think about that. Purple is caster. The wings right here means it's a damage or a DPS hero. It means that's all they're going to do is just damage. There's just little to no use for them casting spells or tanking. This fist right here means it's going to be tanking. It's a upfront hero. It's a melee hero or even a ranged hero. Who knows? But typically speaking, when you look at the hit points right here and you go to the little scroll and you press this button up top here, you'll see that this hero right here has only got 3,500. This has got 36. Even though this is a whole level higher and it's got more gear on her, this hero's got more hit points. And 9,700, even though it's got 2 levels behind Prima Donna. It's because it's got the fist. It's a strength hero. This is an agility hero. This is an int hero. And they suggest the kind of abilities that they're going to have. So, yeah. Let's see here. The heroes, they each all do something. When you look at them, like Sage of Storms, you look at his abilities down here. He gives you construction speed boost, all that good stuff. But look at this. Twister, his ultimate or his proc ability, when he gets his energy bar full, you can use his Twister ability. And you place that anywhere you want to. The Lightning Bolt ability is a free action. You don't have to do anything for it. He casts the spell randomly. And the same thing for the Fleet-Footed. He just casts the spell randomly. And a lot of the heroes at level 7 have an aura. And it says passive up top here. So let's go to a hero that maybe doesn't have that. I think they all have a passive ability. Yeah, see, passive, passive, passive. Yeah, I think these are all passive abilities. And so some of them are really good. Like, for instance, Prima Donna's. I don't think that's too good. 21 healing is, in my opinion, I wish it would be like an aura that regenerates hit points on your whole team. I think that would be way better. Because I think she's the only healer, and when you only have one healer, sometimes your guys take heavy burst damage, and she's just not available to use her main ability, which is Athena's Anthem, which does a lot of healing, by the way. It does a lot of healing. It kind of sucks sometimes when it's not up. So she is a magic attack booster on her free ability. So you'll see a little wand appear above your heroes' heads to get their magic attack increase. So it's not a bad strategy to use a tank hero like Child of Light, because it's a magical tank. It does magic damage, that absorbs, that does magic damage as well. So it's kind of sixes, man. Like, you can use Prima Donna, Child of Light, Incinerator, Snow Queen, and like Sage of Storms. And when you combine all of those, he lowers their magic defense of the enemies by 82 at rank 7. And Snow Queen recovers the recharge seconds by 2. See, recharge second by 2. So every second she recharges. I guess that's the deal. I really don't know how that works, but I know it's passive, and she will passively increase everybody's recharge. So with Incinerator, she increases the magical attack of herself by 274, which is a buttload, guys. That's a buttload of a magic attack. And Child of Light does strength, so they will hit harder when they melee. And this is a melee tank hero, but their abilities they can use as range. That's the crazy part. So, yeah, that's something to keep an eye out for. Let's go up here. And Prima Donna, she will increase the healing focus of herself, basically, by 21. So my team that I personally use, that I like, that synergizes really well with one another, is of course Prima Donna. I use Black Crow because she is absolutely vicious. I don't even care for this arrow rain. I really don't. It's more of this right here, the piercing arrow. It does a shit ton of damage though. And this Achilles shot does a ton of damage too, and she uses them both very frequently. I use Soul Forger. He lowers their physical defense. If you guys look down here, he lowers their physical defense, and so you can't really read this garbage up top here. That's whatever. But the fact of the matter is that when he twirls, or when he does his whirl smash, he lowers the physical defense of everybody who's getting hit by that, which is amazing. He also lowers their attack on the shatter, and he uses that ability pretty often. And he lowers the crit rate of the when he deep impacts, and he passively increases his own defense by 205, which is a buttload. And there's more than one defense, guys. Look, there's a magical defense and a regular defense, so don't let that confuse you, okay? The only thing I'm saying is I like using him because he's kind of a tank. Like, he lowers their defenses, lowers their attack and whatnot. And so I use heroes like Black Crow because she's a physical damage doer, and so they both synergize really well with one another. That brings me to my next hero, Scarlet Bolt. Exterminate does a buttload of damage, and she does it really often too. But here's the other one, disarm. When you disarm a hero, they can't use some of their skills. Like if their skill is like shooting arrows, like Black Crow, she can't shoot the arrows. She can still do some damage, but she can't shoot any arrows. That's the other thing too. And this backstab ability, guys, it is super freaking amazing. Like if I have Soul Forger, Black Crow, and Scarlet Bolt all on one person, they die really quickly. Like they die really quickly because when I backstab the target I'm going after, it not only lowers their defense by a ton, but it does a ton of damage itself. 2189. That's probably the hardest hitting hero I have for their proc per one target. So she's super bursty, but she's melee as well. So you got to remember that. Also, her passive reduces physical defense by 82, guys. Look, all I'm saying is this hero is absolutely amazing. A lot of people don't like to use Scarlet Bolt because when you look at the stats, she's only got 3,700 hit points. Not very good. Just not very good. She's got a lot of crit, and yeah, man. Like a lot of people just don't like to use her because of that reason. Ooh, so here I have to get some of these little things right here. I have to get more of these necklaces. So let me show you guys something, okay? I'm going to go ahead and click on this Child of Light right here. And I'm going to go ahead and sweep that 6 times. I'm going to sweep it 5 times and run a dungeon. So 1, 2, and then you get these little bonuses right here, the little XPs and whatnot. You can put anywhere you want to. 3, 4. Okay, cool. We got our necklaces. So now we can fuse. And that's the really cool thing I like about this, guys. Is you go out here and I say fuse, and now I need, oh my bad. Go back. Fuse, I need, oh my gosh, so I need 2 of these. So I need 2 more necklaces. Come on, give me a necklace. There's 1, and, okay. I'll run the dungeon. I'm not going to sweep it, but I'll run it, okay? Until I get what I want, actually. See, that's how you guys can do it. You guys can run the dungeon over and over and over. Just don't beat it. And I'll show you guys how you do that here. So if you're listening to this, pro frickin' tip, guys. I'm going to show you how to do this, okay? But yeah, and then I use Shade. So these are my 5 heroes I use. I use Prima Donna, Black Crow, Soul Forger, Scarlet Bolt, and Shade. And all of these heroes are super bursty. Shade is super bursty. Black Crow and Scarlet Bolt, they're really great heroes, guys. Look, hero skill, the ambush, I'm not too keen on the ambush ability that he has, but he can teleport from one spot to the other, kind of like the backstab from Scarlet Bolt. If I need to get him out of harm's way is when I use that ability. Like, let's say everybody's focusing on him. I put him back as close to my healer as possible, behind my tank, and then he will continue to fight from there. He has an elusive passive buff that he just does to himself. Like at the start of the fight, he'll hit illusion, my bad, not illusion, illusion. And then he has, it's harder to hit basically. 157 reflex is quite a bit, speaking that he only has, his reflex is only, I want to say like, so much. It doesn't even say down here. Anyways, guys, it's a lot. It's a lot of reflex boost is what it does. And the other reason why I use him is because this muting missile is a ranged attack, and he does a ton of damage, but that silence, though, 5-second silence is pretty darn amazing. And then his passive aura increases his crit hit by 135, which is a buttload. So let's go over here. Let's run a dungeon. Oh, my bad. Here, let's go ahead and go over these guys really quick here. Like I said, Child of Light, she's a magical tank. The big guy is a damage tank. Like, there's all kinds of different tanks. There's like a super tanky tank, Soul Forger. There's the magical tanker. And then this guy right here, he's just straight up damage. Like, every one of his abilities is damage based. Like, even it reduces the damage taken by 5%, but I think that should be increases damage dealt by 5%. The Death Knight, Desolation, it's pretty self-explanatory. It knocks everybody back and freezes them. The Impale, I don't really care for. The Resurrect is really good. When you know your main guy is gonna die for sure in a dungeon, switch him out for Death Knight, because when he dies, he's gonna resurrect, but he's gonna come back with more health, and it's gonna allow you to still get that 3 crown. Heart of Ice, 164 strength. I don't think that's whatever. He's a tank. Incinerator, absolutely buku damage. These abilities do, like, she uses these quite often, And you can't think about them as like they do low damage, like this Blaze right here. She does them so often. They hit really freaking hard too, because look at her magic attack. Like, just look at that, 732. Like, wow, that's a lot. And Armageddon does a lot of damage too. Her passive, like I said, increases her magic attack. And Snow Queen, I've already visited her. She freezes, encases them in ice, and that's the other good part about it. It disables the hero basically that you're going up against. So if you have a disabled team like Snow Queen, Shade, and then like a stun hero like Child of Light, like that's 15 seconds of pure crowd control on one specific target, or even a couple of targets too. So if you guys really need that for like some of these elite dungeons, the hero is going to proc like pretty soon. So sometimes you need to stop them from procking, and then you just need to beat them down real quick. So sometimes this is a good hero to use, and that's why I keep her up in level. That's why she's level 35 and rank 5. So, this is the hero that a lot of people are talking about right now. Oathkeeper. He's the first hero you start off with. He's not higher on the HP end, but when you look at his abilities, he puts a shield over himself that absorbs a lot of damage. He can stun for 3 seconds, which is pretty great. His shockwave is kind of it's whatever. It stuns for 1 second, but that's nor here nor there. But the biggest ability that he's got is Hot Blooded. It increases his recovery seconds by 102. So I don't really know what that means. It's maybe he regenerates hit points, or maybe it's just his procking ability. I don't really know, so I can't really tell you about that. But I specifically don't use him. I don't care for him very much. A lot of guys like to use Night Raven because of his shooting star. It does a ton of damage, but I really don't like him because he's a physical and magic damage doer hero, and for me, I'm a min-max kind of a guy, and he doesn't do very much for me. He's actually like a mid-range attack hero, so like he's got to be kind of close to the enemies to attack, and I'd rather just have a full-blown melee hero that's going to just burst down heroes or do a ton of damage, and so that's why I just don't use him very much at all, actually. Even though he increases your entire team's dex, I don't really care. Like I said, I don't use him. I will put him to rank 5 just because, might, and I've got extra gear for him and whatnot, but I'm not going to level him up anytime soon. Same thing for Bomb and Goblin. A lot of guys like to use this guy because he does a ton of damage just when you first get him. And it's all magic damage. But just check this out, man. When he dies his last burst, if you're looking for that 3 crown, why is he dying? Like, if you're planning on this hero dying and using his rank 7 ability, like, you're not going to get that 3 crown, so why are you doing it? And that's why he's not going to have a spot in any of my teams for the most part. It's because, his last ability, he self-destructs, and that's when he dies. So why you see what I'm saying? You get the theory behind that. Like, it's just not good. I don't like him. This is another hero, Death Archer, I don't care for. She does a ton of damage when she procs. The Venom Shot does a pretty good amount of damage. The Toxic Blast does okay damage, It's basically a 700 damage grenade that she throws. And the Hunter Instincts, this is the thing I don't understand, is that you're planning on your heroes dying. When your hero dies, she gets a 248 attack boost, but why are your heroes dying? You don't get the 3 crowns when that happens. In Sleek, Facade, 164 dex is what she gets. I don't really care for that. She's not really missing very much anyways. And so that brings me to my next hero. Sage of Storms. This does a fair amount of damage. It actually does more than it looks. It does about 2,000 and some change, and he's only level 29. It's not even rank 5 yet, so that'll probably do somewhere in the ballpark of like 3,000 damage if it's ever buffed. 4,000 damage even. This lightning bolt does a ton of damage, and it's like an AoE, so like when he throws a lightning bolt at somebody, it does it in a smaller or medium area. And yeah, it's not bad. The fleet-footed, the reflex buff that it gives is actually pretty useful. I've actually had that come in handy a couple of times. And so most of my experience points are actually getting dumped into this guy because he seems seems like I underestimated him a little bit. And not only that, but then he lowers the magic defense of everybody on the battlefield that's my enemy by 82. So if I ever needed a full magic team, he would be part of it for sure. Just looking at the skills. No, not the skills. What was I going to look at? Oh, stats, right? He's not too high on the magic attack, though. That's the one thing I don't really understand. But he procs really often, guys. Look at that recovery. 460, 430, 590 is really good for this guy right here. Recharge, 30, 60, 60. They proc pretty often. Some of these heroes don't proc very often, like, let's see here, Prima Donna. Oh, she's 60, but anyways, guys, I don't know. It's kind of hard to go over these. But anyways, let's go ahead and run a dungeon real quick. What was I doing here? I was getting... what was I doing? Was I going like this and getting... No, I wasn't doing that. I was getting something for these guys. Was it this? Was it the spears? I forget, guys. Sorry about this. Was it the glove? Aha, no, it was these. Okay, let's go ahead and get this. We'll go ahead and run the dungeon. And we're gonna... Oh, crap, I did not mean to do that. Do we have enough? No, we don't. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. And Bravehearts are 2,000, so listen, okay? If you guys want a specific item... just run the dungeon over and over and over again, because you can run this dungeon, and I'll show you guys in a later video. I am super sorry, guys. It's a super big force of habit, but you can run this dungeon over and over and over again until you get the item you want. Like, when you kill everybody, you have until it goes to the screen, until it says the 3 crown or 2 crown or whatever you got, to hit the pause button on the top right, and then hit back, or try again, or retry. And you can do that over and over and over again until you get the item that you want. For me, I'm too lazy to do that, and so I just hit the sweep button. That's kind of what I do. And each time you try it again, by the way, it doesn't give you the same loot. That's one thing you guys want to understand there. It's going to take me 5 minutes, and I don't want to tuck you guys' ear off for 5 minutes. So, yeah, that's all I'm going to say, guys, is if you guys are looking for specific loots, that's one way to get them, by doing them over and over and over and over and over again. That's one way to do it. And the other thing I want to make sure you guys know is when you guys upgrade a hero, let's say, for instance, let's say I was doing Black Crow right now. I got this item right here. I leveled it all up. When I leveled this hero up to the next rank, which is rank 6, all the gear that this hero is currently wearing goes into their stats permanently, by the way. So this hit points will go up. It'll be like 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, so on and so forth. And currently, right now, I'm going to wait to advance down into Chapter 5, Chapter 6, and Chapter 7 until my heroes are rank 6. Because the problem that I run into is that my guys just simply are not either strong enough, or they just don't do enough damage, or something or the other. Like, there's something wrong about them. So I'm just kind of holding off on that. Ooh, look at that. Free Maynard build. I had no idea about that. Anyways, guys, tell a friend. That's the best way to support me. I don't really ask that you guys make a ton of comments, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Subscribe at your own will. I'm not going to try to, force anybody to do anything like that. I think that's kind of dumb that some people say that. Don't forget to do this. Well, you would do it if you wanted to. So no pressure, guys. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Stay safe, but above all, stay classy.